Good evening, Final Fantasy fans! Tonight, we've got the Iron Goal Heavy Metal ranking match. That's right, folks. As you saw it in the intro page, we've got number 9 Caleb taking on the number 4 ranked Zen0bian. This is the first match of the Iron Gold Championship, the first runners to actually take part in this. So, I guess I should introduce myself. I am Dangwoo. I am going to be doing most of the stuff here tonight. Maybe I'll have a special guest, who knows. Maybe I'll have somebody drop in. But we have a Chaos Rush style bingo. They have free airships. If you actually do explanation flags in chat, it will pop up what the flags are. There's a bunch of stuff. There's no loose. Masa is incentivized. Caleb is the blue squares, and Zen0bian is the red squares. There is a lot of different stuff. NPCs. Shuffle is on. I mean, there is so much random, goofy stuff that these guys have put into this, and they're gonna have fun. So I'm gonna set them off here. So give me like 2 seconds to set them off, and we're gonna get going. Alright, I've unleashed them. It's counting down. They're at the gates. They're getting the flags. Or they're getting the countdown. Alright, folks, my timer's going to be a little bit behind. I apologize for that. Shouldn't be too bad, but we are going to be a little bit behind here. Alright, so what kind of craziness we got? Cat claws for highly expensive. Perfect. One thing Zen0bian is going to do, Zen0bian has column 2. That is the one thing that was forced by Caleb. Caleb has to do row 4. Oh, that's awkward. Let me fix that real quick. Interesting. I wonder why that showed up like that. Alright, you guys have to give me a moment here. I'm going to try and get that fixed here as soon as possible. Alright, well, while I get that working, looks like Zen0bian went to Temple of Fiends. Going to get Mirage 2, decides nope. Caleb's on a shopping spree, buying some items. We found Earth Floor 2. That's a little bit better. I haven't seen what spells they've got, but it's at least a little bit better. Alright, folks, we have a volcano dive that leads to Temple of Fiends for Caleb. That's a nice little find. Zen0bian has to reset out. That is unfortunate. I will get the bingo up very shortly. I'm just editing while trying to give you guys a little bit of what's going on. Looks like Zeno decides that he's going to make a U-turn. Maybe Ooh, Giants with Blizzard. That's going to reset them out. Maybe Caleb's inside his head. They are in the same chat room. They are talking to each other. One thing that if you've ever raced against Caleb, is he will get inside your head and he will mess with you. Alright, let's see if that's a little bit better here. I'll make adjustments as we go. Alright, at least if that's a little bit better. You can see the bingo cards here at least. Found the Agama floor with armor -3, iron armor -3. Interesting. Alright, there we go. Now we got everything done. Looks like Caleb made some money there. What was the Sarda shop? Oh, and let me tell you, folks, we have I don't even know what to say. A special guest here, the #1 rank after the giant free-for-all. Ale Markin, how's it going today?
Good. How you doing tonight, Dingwoo?
Whew, I'm doing pretty good, you know. A little mixed up with the old bingo, you know. I only worked on it for like an hour and a half, and I still managed to mess it up. But you know. So, Ale, you've taken on these two runners before, as Caleb finds a canoe and Zen0bian finds a canal. Anything special about these two runners that is makes you maybe worried, maybe not so worried?
I mean, first thing I'd worry about watching this, and I know I'm a second or two behind you, but I'd really be worried about Caleb just guillotining those old men for their canoe. That's just not good fashion. I don't know about that.
I know, right? Comes in, and they probably worked forever on it, you know. The Crescent Lake Party Planners, Spells app and Danny were probably there, and they made that, you know, off of their hard work and all the money that they made after being the co-op champions. And then we just come in and we take their canoe like that.
And he's using iron hammers on the poor guys too. That's a bad scene. But to answer your question, you know, I think Caleb, he's really thorough when he does a lot of racing. Having done a co-op run with him as well, so he's very methodical with kind of how he approaches the seeds. And I think in something with entrance floor shuffle, I think that's gonna really help him out with this. Zen0bian just likes to go quick, so that can really help out. Really a lot of the time, because you know you do your scouting, you figure out what you need, and you get out. But on the other hand, hey, sometimes it pays to go down a couple floors when you find the odd dungeon. So I really like the different kind of approaches both runners take to the seed.
And it's interesting. Both of them are not going to use no swords, but I mean, how's that's going to play out? I'm not sure. But I do like what you said, though, Caleb. You know, it's interesting with Caleb is he kind of goes really fast, but then at the same time he also gets kind of held up, like kind of like what you said. Where he gets very methodical sometimes. And Zen0bian, I think he's a underrated I haven't seen him race much recently, so it's interesting. But yeah, he's a very fast runner.
Yeah, I know Zen0bian's gotten into dealing with another randomizer at the moment that, you know, a handful of us have been running, but I've been watching a few of his runs, and he's pretty much on point. And if you listen to him when he's running, he explains things and he kind of talks through his reasoning a lot of the times while he's doing the. It's really nice hearing his insight because he kind of comes up with a lot of things that you wouldn't expect runners to think of.
Yeah, and I know I've seen Crab Cakes hanging out a couple times in his chat and stuff like that, so I'm sure... I don't know actually how new or old Zen0bian is now that I think about it, but I mean, when you have a Crab Cakes in there, you know... I mean, that's awesome.
I mean, if you're doing things to make the top dog take notice, you're doing something right.
Exactly. So, looks like Caleb's going to feed the Titan here, runs into a bunch of Gerwils. We found a Dragon Armor -3. That is a reduction of 6 Absorb from the Dragon Armor, and it reduces the Evade penalty, if I'm correct on that. But that's only by 3 Evade less?
I mean, at this point in the game, if you're not maybe planning on taking fighters into the long term, like end game with Topher, I don't see any reason not to.
Cure 4 learnable. That's awesome. Fade is learnable by the Red Mage or Red Wizard after promotion.
I think that's the healthiest white magic I've ever seen. Cure 3, Cure 4, Heal 2.
It really is. Finds the Rod, so that's, you know, can be useful. This is floor entrance shuffle with double anti-bingo for anybody that just joined. You can enter in explanation flags, and it'll give you a link to what the flags and what kind of shenanigans these runners are going for. The number 9 ranked Caleb is taking on the number 4 ranked Zen0bian in our first Iron Goal match. And let me tell you, they have gone all out with these flags. It is on our alpha site, and which basically means a lot of experimental stuff. A lot of things get switched very quickly by our awesome developers. So they have gone all out with this.
And their flags look pretty interesting. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the. Ooh, what did Zen0bian get himself
by
into?
the way, I should mention Unleashed War Mech.
Hi, there's a surprise angry robot chicken to ruin your ordeals, Doc.
There it is. The War Mech has shown up for Caleb with Thunder. Thunder's not even racing and still crushes the spirits of our runners. Oh yeah! Reset that one, both runners.
Yeah, so talking about the alpha flags, aside from Unleashed Warmech being a thing, I think the biggest flag that's going to really shake things up here over the coming months is going to be the random armor/weapon bonus flag that the runners are playing with tonight.
And that is the one thing that has been picking up. As you can see, there is Tavern mode on here too. That's to help them to get their bingo boards set up just in case. But that is a thing that's been kind of picking up recently. A lot of traction actually on our Discord with our community members is how much fun it is with the plus minuses that it does to weapons and armor.
Yeah, and it can really shake up a lot of phases of the game. So, you know, normally you take a black belt and you don't have Tavern mode on. You're pretty much dragging him along with you until he hits 21 and he can kind of start doing a little bit of damage. If you roll a seed that's got iron nunchucks, wooden nunchucks, anything like +3, +4, +5, that can really, really, really pack a wallop early game and can kind of make the black belt into a decent fighter at the start of any particular seed you're doing.
You know what I just realized? This is Chaos Rush with long Topher, so they actually need the key.
Oh no.
I just looked at it, and we were talking about it before the match, and Zen0bian's like, yeah, all you need to do is go in and kill Chaos. And I was thinking about like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I look back, I'm like, wait, you actually need the key.
Hopefully they realize that before, you know, they decide just to go and brave Topher and realize, oh, I'm key locked. Crap, I gotta go digging for it somewhere.
I mean, I know I like to mess with the commentators by acting like I don't have the key, by running into it and pressing A where it says, the door's locked by a mystic key. But for them, it'd be hilarious if they accidentally did that on purpose. I mean, technically, though, if they want to gain experience, they can go into Temple of Fiends. If they find an easy fight, I mean, that's not terrible to go into, but at the same time, you know, you can just grind levels off of the spike tiles.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if Zen0bian takes advantage of that strategy, because I think I saw early Warp, but I also saw, I think it was level 4 Fade. And him having the only white mage at the moment, as soon as he gets that Fade charge, hey, it might be worth popping in. Maybe you can find like Metal Slime pack right off of the encounter table. Just warp right off.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I should look at this scaling real quick. 50. Okay, so yeah, it's not too bad. Enemies only go up to 150%. So, I mean, you get a easy green dragon. I mean, yeah, they hit hard, but I mean, if you get an ice 3 or something like that, you can kill them generally pretty quickly if they roll low. As you said, the metal slimes die quickly. I mean, these are all high experience, you know, monsters. The only downside is Unleashed Warmech. You know, you try and grind outside of a spike tile, and Warmech shows up and kills you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing to keep in mind too is, you know, trying a couple of different parts of the world map and seeing if maybe there is a Warmech that is right off the, like a hard because I'm pretty sure a Warmech fight, if he rolls easy enough, is going to trump a lot of the spike tiles or really any of the other mobs in the... Ooh, and Caleb takes a really nasty wipe to some Fire 3 Scorpions.
Yeah, that's not very nice. So for anybody out there, the background that shows it in blue is Caleb, so that matches the boxes that he is in bingo. The red ones are Zen0bian. Zen0bian has column 2. He has to defeat a Warmech, do not use temper, hit level 40 on one character, visit every room on the Lich 1 floor. On the Lich 1 floor, yeah. And take 0 or 3 black belts. Meanwhile, Caleb has... Wow, I totally read that wrong. Column 2 is actually the other one. I'm on top of my game today, let me tell you. Column 2 for Zen0bian. Visit every room on Kraken 1 floor. That one's a bit spicier, I would have to say. What do you think about that, Al? Because Kraken 1's floor is kind of big, actually, and that's a bit of a time waste.
It is, and a handful of the... Well, a lot of the stuff that can show up on Kraken 1's floor also shows up on the water floor in Topher. And I've at least found in a lot of the runs I've done, those mobs have a tendency to roll nasty. So if you get really hard-hitting water elementals, or if you get the seafood platter, you know, combo, if any of those mobs roll some kind of nasty skills, that can really ruin your day and make you have to re-dive, especially depending on where the Kraken 1 floor lands. If it's 8 floors deep in a dungeon, that's a heck of a trek back down there.
So one thing here, and that is a very good point by you, is... Bert actually asked in chat, and I gotta talk to Gloom real quick about what they asked too, is Zen0bian basically said is he's gonna, every now and then, he's gonna click on squares just to mess with Caleb. So I don't think he's actually defeated Warmech, but he's trolling him to, you know, to mind game him. Now, for Gloomchew, you can't actually use any of the swords. You can't use them, you can't equip, or, you know, you can't attack with them.
It's really nice to see Zen0bian messing with Caleb, because that whole bingo square checking thing is totally something Caleb would do to his...
Oh, for sure. For sure. Caleb is low-key...
The road to speed gaming that you guys did, I'm sure you're fully aware of all the shenanigans that Caleb can put his opponents up.
He is a low-key trolling monster. Let me tell you, he will just get... he's good at it. If you ever do a race with him, and just don't listen to him whatsoever, or you're just going to get yourself in trouble. Just don't listen to him.
Let's say, who picked out the worm sprite for Caleb's avatar for this particular match?
He did. Apparently, what he told me was, and I can bring this up because it's kind of like an interview thing. When he was in the army, they called him the Big Worm.
Go on.
And apparently, it used to be his license plate years ago.
That's fantastic.
It really is. Now, Pro Rings -3, that means Pro Rings only have 3 absorb. Basically, slightly better than a cloth armor.
And that silver bracelet, I think, was -3 as well, so I can't see him ever changing out of that chainmail +5. At least not until we see what the gold bracelets have rolled.
I mean, +5, that makes it better than an iron neutral. Because that's, what, chain is 18, so that's 28. Yeah, so that's better than iron armor +2, or the +1, so. Here we are I'm doing math, or whatever you want to call it on Twitch. What is wrong with me?
I'm gonna let you handle that.
Oh, please no. I've already messed things up already to start. You know what? I'm gonna put you on the comms now. Welcome to commentary, Ale.
Fantastic, thank you. See what I've gotten myself into. See if Zen0bian decides to axe off any of the old. Oh, there's an old guy. Oh, there goes the second old guy. This is it's a bloodbath. The old guys did not deserve this kind of treatment.
And we finally got the canoe for Zen0bian. Oh, Caleb finds the correct. Now, does he actually do all the floors and mark it, or does he wait?
Lobsters don't seem to be hitting that hard, so this might be a good find for him if he can pick up that particular square early.
Okay, so for the +- for the weapons, it is +2 damage or minus. It is, what is it? +3 hit percentage per point, and then it's +1 crit for each +-. I believe that is what Cheese told me, and he is a lot smarter than me and understands this stuff better than I do. The armors get ±1, or all the equipment gets ±1 except for armor, or the chest armor. They get +2, or -2 if you want to say it, plus an evade penalty of 1. So now, basically, Zen0bian is finally caught up, at least key item-wise, with Caleb. Caleb's doing the smart thing, barely checks each room.
Hey, walking in the door is all you gotta do.
Yeah, and it is a free spot, so, you know, it's not like you gotta go very far anyways.
I wonder what his plan is for his Kraken, though.
I was thinking the same thing. Look at that HP. That Kraken is gotta be drooling like, yummy light warriors.
I mean, I think he's still rocking the iron hammer on his fighter. I think he's pretty much out of lit recharges. So all these guys, what, lit 2 in a dream? In a prayer, maybe?
I'm not sure why he's taking it on. He doesn't have to take on Kraken. He's already got the orb lit.
Yeah, I didn't even see how far down or what entrance he was on either, so I'm not sure.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, there he goes. He's just making sure he hit the room. Smart play.
That was smart. I just realized that. I'm like, why is he going up? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the last room. I mean, and that's a good point, too, is that's dangerous because, you know, trying to make it up to that last room, you run into an unleashed Warmech, and we already know that he's got Thunder level 1, or, you know, is one of his first things he can cast. And that'll basically kill all of his characters except for his fighter.
Yeah, I think the thing going in Caleb's favor at the moment, though, is that particular floor of Sea Shrine gave him a good bit of luck. And especially because of all the lit 2 lit recharges he had, it came pretty easily and nothing really seemed to roll anything nasty. Like, the lobsters didn't seem to be hitting very hard. Granted, he has chain +5 on everybody. Sea trolls didn't really have much, and they live up to their troll name on at least half of the seeds, it feels like.
Hydras with Glare forces Zen0bian to reset, and yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it was pretty easy. I don't think he ever actually got in trouble during that entire Kraken 1 exploration.
Nope, and then that warp charge was his guaranteed out. So as soon as he hit that Kraken room, he was just like, alright, I've seen everything. Gotta go.
There's our Brack spell we needed for Kraken. That would have given him a chance to at least kill him. So I guess looking forward to it, while we got a little bit of time here, L, we have a match tomorrow, and you're up against the number 2 ranked Spellzap. You want to kind of highlight what's going to happen, or what kind of things we should expect on the flags and stuff? Because nobody knows what flags you guys have come up with.
Well, I don't know if the flags are quite as extreme as what Caleb and Zen0bian are running tonight for their particular match. I do have an inside tip, though, that I've heard rumors that Spellzap, being the challenge seed connoisseur that he and being one of the challenge seed masterminds, is that the flags that we're going to be running tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern are going to be the same challenge seed flags that he uses for this upcoming week. Now, don't hold me to that, because I'm not Spellzap, so I might not, he may change his mind, but that was the word I had gotten. But we're looking at things like a quick preview. I think we're doing 4 forced party members, and one of them is a guaranteed white mage, because who wants to run a seed with 4 black mages and, take up a 6-hour broadcast? I know we've got 4 loose items. I think it's Ice and Ordeals that is incentivized. Enemies are clamped. I think it's 100 to 260. And it's a full floor entrance shuffle. So we might see the same kind of shenanigans that we're seeing out of, what Caleb and Zen0bian are seeing tonight. Just you never know what's going to be any.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. On top of that, the commentators for tomorrow will be Caleb and myself. So I'm looking forward to it. Because it's another Iron Goal match, but it's a championship match. And it's going to be 2, ooh, look at that blue D tile there for Caleb. That is pretty interesting if we can get rid of them, if they roll low enough. Unfortunately, we don't have very good spells to take care of them. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be on the Speed Gaming family of networks on the 23rd. That is tomorrow at 9:30, as A.L. Markin has mentioned. In chat there, Bert, column 2 is Zen0bian. I actually mentioned that wrong when I read it off. I apologize. So Zen0bian's the one that has to kill Kraken 1. Caleb has row 4. So I apologize for the mix-up on that. And it looks like the battle of a lifetime here for Caleb, still trying to defeat these blue dragons. They're a very good source of experience, but I don't think he's got any way to make this a useful grind. But I guess, you defeat them one time, you gain their experience, and you warp out and say, see you.
Yeah, I mean, that Iron Hammer's really putting in a lot of work for Caleb so far this seed.
Some would say he's still trying to beat up a blue dragon with that Iron Hammer. Hey, wow, the Iron Hammer actually got the kill. And he did all that for 1,700 gold.
Yeah, in retrospect, that's not a fight I'm going to be taking again. Especially not with an Iron Hammer.
No. Definitely not going back to that one. Thanks, though. For everybody there, I do have a list of commands. You guys can actually, if you scroll down just a little bit underneath, there's a bunch of commands I have set up. Links to the spreadsheets that'll show the rankings of all the runners that are currently ranked. and all the rules and all that stuff for the Iron Goal Heavyweight Championship. So I decided to try and be as professional as I could, you know, and which entailed messing up the bingo board. But that's why I brought in the #1 ranked member. Speaking of that, I have not actually talked to you since you became the #1 rank. How'd you feel about that run and stuff like that? Because, I mean, it looked pretty close. I think you won by, what, a couple minutes?
Yeah, I think it was only like a minute 40 that separated Spellzap and myself on that particular run. So, I don't know. It was a weird feeling running it because, you know, once you start racing these seeds in SRL, you can kind of get a feeling of when you think people should start dunning. And then you start getting in your own head, like, okay, it's an hour 30, nobody's not done. What's going on? Then it's like an hour 40, and you're like, okay, I'm pulling chaos. Like, hopefully I'm the first one there. But it's a really weird feeling because, you know, you kind of start setting yourself up. It's like, you know, I think I was the last one to find the airship in that particular race. And, you know, watching back the VOD I was, and I think commentary even confirmed it. But I'm sitting there the entire time like, I feel so far behind. I feel so far behind. I feel so far behind. And it's just one of those things where you have to know when you can take a giant shortcut or when you really want to make that giant gamble and just really hope it pays off in your favor.
Yeah, that was an interesting seed here. Zen0bian has to take on Kraken 1. Health-wise, it's decent, but we have Brack spells. The early Cure 4. Wow, Kraken does not hit very hard, although that was a pretty... Wow. First turn, Brack. Light that up.
First, I was worried about the 7 hits, but it's not going to matter, so she's in pieces behind poor little Zen0bian.
Yeah, I'd have to say that chain armor +5 paying off dividends. Uh-oh. Hello, Wormek. Oh, he's going for it. Let's go.
Did he save after he got the Kraken kill?
Yes. Stop comes out. This is a problem. Stop. Oh, yeah. Reset. You have to. With stop, your characters cannot evade. When you're paralyzed like that, you cannot evade. 3. Oh, wow. The fighter's down to the fighter's down to 30 HP. What's the good thing there, Ale? Because you're a smart man. What you got for me?
Well, I was going to say the nice thing here is Zen0bian's A found it off of a hard reset. B, he realizes 2 fades is going to kill the Warmech, so there's his grind as long as his white mage doesn't get gibbed in that 3rd slot.
Now the
only downside is it's a little bit out of the way, so.
The one thing about it is Warmech Unleashed does not mean it's necessarily there all the time. I believe it's randomly in there. It just randomly pops up. It doesn't follow any sort of what's it called? Encounter table or anything. It just pulls it up randomly. It's just like, Warmech this time.
Oh, I mean that does make more sense for Unleash. You never know when he's gonna pop up.
But yeah,
if he
2 fades, tooks out the Warmech, gains a massive amounts of experience to catch up to where Caleb was. I mean, that was huge.
Yeah, I think it was 18,000 with all 4 Light Warriors alive. That's a huge chunk of XP for him.
Because, I mean, you even mentioned it earlier, his levels were not very good. Caleb had a massive lead gaining all those levels off in that Sea Shrine. And then, you know, he does the Sea Shrine, kills Kraken, comes out. 2 fades later, Warmech's down, and he's now leading in levels, so... I mean, we're almost getting close to where we can go mode Topher, and here's another Warmech.
And that's a lot of information, though, in Zen0bian's favor, too, because, you know, for Caleb, he might see the stopper, he might see the thunder right off the bat, and decide, okay, this isn't worth it, and reset. Zen0bian knows, hey, he's probably got 600-700 HP max, so let's just go for it and see what happens.
For Ragnaros, ooh, Thunder comes out. It's okay. The white. Oh, what a big hit by Thunder! One shots the white mage after it got out of paralyze, and wow, Thunder's showing how dangerous it can be. 292. I was like, okay, the white mage should live. No.
Yeah, I think that turn one stop by Warmech is what really sealed that particular fight, because the white mage couldn't do anything for a round or two. But we're gonna get, revenge here in just a second.
Wow, another Warmech popping up. This is insane. Unless it's not, or else he's just getting really lucky by going to each new encounter location. It should be almost done here. Uh-oh.
Yeah, his fade's low rolled though, so that's the only. Well, never mind that plan.
A whole bunch of lit twos coming out. It's not going to roll high. Warmech's got big MDef and resistance to everything. Oh, that was a 469 crit. See you later, fighter. That forces Zen0bian to reset again.
Yeah, I think the thing going for him, though, is if he does take Warmech fights in the future, he's got to really hope those fade rolls actually roll high. I think those 150 rolls aren't going to get it done. I want to say his first kill had like a 200 and a 300 fade roll, or a little bit higher than.
Yeah, I mean, and it's hard to do. Warmech's got a very good amount of MDef, and, being able for fade to crit, or double hit as you want to call it, it's not very easy. And you're going to see here, Caleb's actually going to go back up to Waterfall. He's got row 4. He's got to Bracken the Kraken if he wants to get that row. So that is something that Zen0bian has forced him to do. So unfortunately, he has to double dive the Kraken floor.
Yeah, at least he can just kind of run straight to Kraken, though. He doesn't have to worry about hitting the different rooms on the Kraken floor because he's already done that.
Yeah. So another Warmech. Zen0bian, I would love to be able to drag him in here and be like, so, what kind of bait do you have to get Warmech to show up every single time?
I think we should.
I mean, this is insane. Warmech's almost got to be going down here shortly. I mean, that's 2 fade, that's 3 fades. I know they low rolled, but it's got to be getting close.
Yeah, I think one more fade will have it.
Ooh, nice big crit for the Silver Dagger. Fade finishes it off. 13,000 experience. We're level 21 for Zen0bian. Oh, yeah, brother.
It's a smart play, using that exit, get out, preserve those 3 levels he just got from that particular Warmech fight. Going back in, I mean, he was only, maybe a handful of steps into the map, so it's not really, like he lost a lot of floors of exploration getting out of.
So cap +3 gives it 4 absorb. We find a Silver Hammer 5, which basically means that's a very good armor or helmet. And we have Caleb on the left-hand side trying to brack Kraken for that row 4 that he was forced to have by Zen0bian. All 3 bracks miss. We're going into round 2.
Kraken does not want to be Bracken today.
No. There it is. The Bracken of the Kraken.
And Zen0bian finding the Bridge of Destiny and deciding, I don't need to be here right now.
For Grigglypuff that's in chat, Zen0bian, I've already said it, Zen0bian has column 2. As you can see, all I need to do is Lich, or Lich 2. Caleb has row 4, and looks like he's got to cake the dead and spend 100,000 in one shop.
I think what Graylu was asking, though, was how do the rankings change depending on who wins tonight?
Okay, so how this would go is if Caleb wins, he takes Zen0bian's spot as rank number 4. Zen0bian then loses half of the difference between the two. So number 4 rank, number 9, what is that, 5? So it's like 2.5 difference. We'll round up to 3, so he moves down 3 spots.
So this Sorcerer pack that Zen0bian found can be deadly because it looks like I have damage poison.
Yeah.
And if you see those in big packs of 5 or 6, if they get turn order and you don't have ribbons, that's going to really ruin your day.
I was going to say, even, it's interesting too is you'll see a lot of runners, they'll put a ribbon on their casters. And generally the casters don't have a lot of HP. And that can be really dangerous when you run into like 3 sorcerers or 4 or 5 sorcerers if they're casting, a high-level spell like that, because the ones with the ribbon don't have the HP values to absorb all those casts of it.
That's a really nice observation, though, because a lot of people don't think that way. They just say, hey, let me protect the people with life. But then, your end game, or if you're at Zen0bian's level and your fighters both have basically 500 HP, yeah, you might be swinging a silver dagger, but you can probably do more with that silver dagger than your red mage who has Lit 2 and Brack to his name.
The silver daggers. I really like the I like the silver daggers. We got Iron Hammer and silver daggers. Fire 3 is ravaging Caleb on the left-hand side. Cube Lock leads into Rod Lock. There we go. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine trying to run into that? Just randomly running into... Oh, hey, there's a Warbeck too. Oh, hi there. I mean, you're like, oh, cool. I just have my cube lock. Great, I'm so glad I can go through this. And then you go through and you're like, now I need the rod lock too? Are you serious, game?
It's nice they both got the rod pretty early. I think that came from, Titan's Grove?
True. No, that is very true, but could you imagine if you didn't have both of those and you just got the cube? You go through and you're like, oh, I need the rod too? And looks like Tiamat, or Tahamet, as our beloved Cinderella man SBJ likes to call it, is giving Zen0bian a hard time, refuses to be brackened. That is a poison spell. Tiamat does have weakness to poison, but refuses to go down to it. Stun touch, so the red mage is hanging out there with very little health, can't dodge. Slow comes out. Silver daggers aren't going to do anything. Forced to reset out.
Yeah, it was worth a shot, but when you don't have to necessarily be there and you're not baning him for that particular square up there in row 1, I don't think there's any reason to keep taking that fight.
Yeah, that was a white shirt -4. I believe that amplifies. No, I'm just kidding. It has 24, so it's what, 16 absorbed now because it's been reduced by 8.
So at a white shirt -4, that's got a couple pit stains, maybe a hole in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's been slightly used, unfortunately. Oh, hey, look, it's the Party of Bats. There's actually a bunch of spike tiles in there for anybody that hasn't actually gone in there. So, yeah, you can hang out with the bats and fight a bunch of enemies. 3 gold right there. The better trap treasure is...
Worm tile. That's actually an interesting fight, even though he's behind the cube block. If he decides he needs to go into a grind later and Warmek's not cutting it for him, that might be a good spot to remember for later.
No, that is... yeah, the worm tile. I don't think he's actually tried to fight it yet, but that would be very good. The enemies scaled aren't that great. 67 to 150%. So, I mean, they shouldn't be too bad. Oh, hello, Warmek. Oh, he's going to try? Nope, he's going to run.
So with our runners tonight, Dang, are they looking for 1 completed bingo row or column, or are they looking to have a 2 before they can actually go and claim it?
They are looking for 2. Double anti-bingo means your opponent will choose a row or column or a diagonal that you have to do, and then you have to complete one of your own that the opponent wasn't forced to do, essentially. So as I've mentioned before, Zeno's got column 2. He has to complete that one, and then he has to complete one other, and then Caleb's got row 4.
So Caleb finding, so he found that worm tile about 4 floors down in Ordeals, and the 5th floor was Dwarf Cave. But that worm tile was on the Earth Fiend tile, and that's right off of the bat here on the Ordeals floor. So he at least knows, yeah, I've got a little bit of a trek to do, and if I want to get back to this particular fight, but he at least knows he doesn't have to go down 4 floors to get.
Ooh, Sunsword +2. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, finding that stuff the spike tiles share like what you're saying. So like something that might be buried 7 floors down could be like 1 floor in a different location. So like if you can find that earth spike tile, like what he found right here, as you're saying, in Ordeals, that's an easy grind. That's an easy place to get to. Ooh, Katana +3. Hello.
And he doesn't care for it. Lets it rot back in that chest. Resets right out of it.
Somebody doesn't like thieves and ninjas. Oh, come on. Take on the war mech. Do it for the people. Oh, he's going to brack him. Brack's got like a 3% chance. Going for it. Ineffective. And Zen0bian is on a serial killing spree over here. Zen0bian, we're going to have to add 10 minutes to your end time for
slaughtering the innocents of Onrak.
Yeah, how dare you?
I'm waiting for that to be a bingo tile. Guillotine every eligible NPC in the game.
Trying to keep track of that would be so hard. I'd have to have like a notepad of every single NPC I have to talk to.
Yeah, and then it'd be up to you to determine, okay, which ones actually are eligible and which ones aren't. Because I think some of the old men in Crescent Lake, there's only a handful that you can guillotine. So you've got to keep circling around. You think finding that canoe was bad. Well, you got to keep going until you talk to all of them just to make sure you can't axe them off.
Oh, that'd be great. So, I mean, we're getting pretty close here. We still need to find the key. I haven't seen any of our runners get the key yet. Because that is required. This is a long Temple of Fiends Revisited. And on top of that, Zen0bian's getting kind of close. Like I said, just has to cake glitch. That at least gets his forced column completed. And then he's free to kind of look. It looks like he could go for the diagonal from left, the take 2 black mages down to the visit the party room if he wanted to.
Yeah, I think that's safe. I don't think you... If I'm Zen0bian, if I'm looking at this board, I don't want to bank on that do not use temper cell at all. Especially because, A, we haven't seen it yet, but B, the weapons haven't really been anything to write home about. Like, the best we've seen so far, I think, is a Sun Sword +2.
Well, he has to, though. That is part of his column.
Oh, that's a... You know what? That's a great point.
Yeah, so he's definitely hoping beyond all hoping that he finds a power bonk.
Yeah, either that or, you know, like you said, he can Quake the Dead. The other thing Zen0bian can do, he can take that, spend 100,000 gold in one shop top, and he can just buy a bunch of stuff and sell it right back and mark that sell off. He'd be in go mode, essentially, once he finds the key.
Now, as much as I know of, I believe he cannot have the same forced. So he can't do rope 4, as much as I know of, unless I'm wrong on that.
Okay. It's good to know. It's only the second bingo match I've seen with these particular anti-bingo rules, so I'm a little dusty on it. So please don't challenge me to a bingo match after I beat Spellzap on Sunday night.
You hear it here, folks. If you want to beat the #1 ranked person, don't take him on in bingo. He's too good at it. Ooh. Gas D on the left. That is the ultra rare Encounter 8. Hello there. And we got the ever so nice war mech that Zen0bian has been farming. He has been running into so many more war mechs compared to Caleb. And of course I say that, and we got back-to-back robot chickens on our screens.
I think Caleb's got the right strat here. Run from the war mech because your silver daggers aren't really going to do a whole lot along with those lit 2.
So if you want to challenge the champion, if you lose to the champion, you cannot challenge the champion for 21 days. It is based on a priority system where it goes in rankings, basically. So if you, as a 6th ranked player, decides to challenge Al Markin in this case, if nobody else challenges him then you get the priority. So anybody higher ranking. So if 2 through 5 decides that they're not going to challenge him, I don't remember the exact time limit. I believe it's like a... I don't remember the exact timing on that.
I think if you challenge somebody who's a higher rank than you, or maybe it's just the champion, I'd have to look at the details. But they have to accept a challenge within 15 days of earning the belt. Otherwise, it goes back to, I think it's back to a free-for-all. For, hey, we do what we did the other night, the winner takes the belt and they go on home with it.
Well, yeah, but it's based on a priority system, so if you are number 6 and you challenge the number 1 ranked person, the only time it's a priority system is if it's against the champion. So the so whoever's the highest rank within the challenging steps or whatever you want to call it, gets the priority for that challenge. But of course, if let's say the second placed person has already challenged and lost, then obviously they can't take that priority because they are suspended from it.
Right, so then it goes down to the third place and et cetera, all the way on down until whoever hasn't challenged the champion in law.
Right, but of course the champion doesn't have to take every single fight. There is a certain amount of time that the champion, because we don't want the champion to burn out. Yes, we do.
Oh, yes, we do.
But at the same time, it's a good way to, play against a bunch of different flags, too. Ooh, a defense +4. That's actually not bad.
That's a nice pickup for Caleb as soon as he class changes.
Yeah, that's not bad at all so far.
So how does that work with that use no swords tile, though? He can't use that in combat either, correct?
Well, he can choose still to use it. It is...
Right.
Where is the sword tile? Is that under one of his things?
It's on the bottom of column 2, row 5.
So, I mean, he can choose to use it, he can choose not to. I mean, I guess if he wants the cake... no, because...
So you said Caleb has row 4, and Zen0bian has column 2, is that right?
Yes. So, yeah, the only thing I guess I'm going to actually bring up Caleb here. I want to get... I'm going to bring up Caleb here very quickly to get a confirmation on this. So let's hope he's not currently swearing or cursing. Everybody hold your ears, or close your... No, I'm just kidding. Caleb, welcome to the broadcast booth. I brought you in. I have to get clarification on something.
Sure.
So, in the double anti-bingo, you guys cannot have... You cannot go with what was forced on the opposition. Correct?
That I'm like
So technically you wouldn't be able to do column 2 because that's what Zeno's already going for? Or forced to go?
That's not my understanding of it. I'm pretty sure we can do the same one if we wanted to, because we could have assigned each other the same one. But
I mean, you guys are the ones who made the rules.
I didn't make these rules. He did it.
No.
He challenged me.
Wait a minute. The number 4 ranked challenged the number 9?
Yeah, he wanted a piece of this.
There goes my oh my goodness, my entire intro and everything was the number 9 challenge the number 4 and not get out of here, Caleb.
All right.
See, I think this is really just for prestige here. Because if I remember the lead up to this, both Zen0bian and Caleb are laying claim to forfeit champion, meaning they've forfeited from the most number of races. And after doing a little bit of research, I think they determined they have the same percent. So I think this is really a grudge match for the forfeit belt right now.
Is that what it is? It's a grudge match for the forfeit belt. He has been forfeiting a lot. That's right. He's trying to, low-key pretend like he's not going to be able to do well in spring tournament. He can't trick us.
It's a fantastic strategy.
Dragon armor +5. Wow. Thieves would be very happy.
No, I think that was the dragon sword.
Or, I'm sorry, the dragon's sword, yeah, +5. So the thieves would be very happy about that one.
I mean, it's not a coral sword, but yeah, it'll make do. But I don't think either runner is going to be taking a thief at this point in the game. I mean, if that Katana 3 wasn't enough to sway Caleb to take it out of ordeals with him when it was one floor down, I don't think anything's going to make him take a thief when he's already low to mid-20s for his characters.
So the question, Masa does count as a sword. A katana, yes. We're considering it as a sword.
It might have a dagger sprite in the game, but we all know it's really not dagger length.
So, I mean, black shirt -2, okay. I mean, that's still helpful. We have a square there that says take 2 black mages, so black shirt's pretty useful, but he says, nah, I'm good. He says commentary doesn't know what they're talking about and warps out. Vorpal -3, okay. It's not like we're going to use
So
it, but...
I think that puts it on par with the Saber +0.
We should ask his spells up. I'm sure he knows.
Ooh, an Opal -2 bracelet.
Okay. It definitely looks like Opal -20 because of the bracelet icon.
Oh, that would be just an outrageous troll from the devs.
It really
Hey, if you
would.
thought this bracelet was bad now.
So not... I mean, we got a whole lot of movement here. Oop, bye, dragon. You're in the way. That dragon always gets in the way. I mean, almost always gets in the way right there.
He likes to go up in between those 2 top chests and not move at all. He'll go up and down for hours while you sit there waiting to open one chest. You're like, look, I'm just trying to loot your box.
Okay, so after the match ends, so this is the thing for everybody out there. Once the ribbon +3, that's pretty nice. The cute hat there gives us resistances and decent amount of absorb now. That's actually pretty nice. So
Yeah, if you thought a ribbon 0 was good, wait till you get the ribbon that gives you even more defense.
right. So the one thing for the challengers. Okay, so first place wins. Ale, if let's say you win, the first contender, who would be Thunder, because Spellzap would move down to the 3rd ranking, and Thunder would move up to 2 within 24.
Would he move down though?
Yes, he moves down 1 ranking because it's half of the difference, so it's about 1. You know, you round up.
Okay, so if you challenge the champ and you lose, you get kicked down a notch. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like it too. So if Thunder, after that race ends, he has 24 hours of exclusive challenging rights. Okay? If, sorry. If he decides in those 24 hours that he doesn't want to challenge, then it goes to the next contender. But because Spellzap is in the suspended or whatever, he's not allowed to challenge anything, it bypasses him and goes to the 3rd rank or the 4th rank, and then it keeps going for every day up till 15 days, like what you said. If nobody's challenged you, or if nobody's challenged you, or the champion has not accepted a challenge, the ability to challenge is open to anybody.
Sounds right. The only thing though is, this is personal experience in talking over the past 4 days. I don't think there's gonna be a lack of challenges for this belt. Like, I think if we were in the post-race interview room, still on air, when Spellzap dropped the challenge for tomorrow night, and I think in the post-race Discord chat, I think is when Thunderclaw dropped the challenge for me as well. So I don't think there's going to be any lack of people challenging for this belt.
I know, right? You know what's going to be funny is you're going to be doing the interview, whoever wins, and Thunder's going to, like, find a way to jump into the broadcast booth and be like, "Oh yeah, brother, I challenge you to these flags right now. Next Sunday. Sunday.
It's like old school WWE. You got the champ sitting there doing his little interview, and all of a sudden the lights dim. Another guy's music comes on. He's like, "Look, bro, I'm coming for you."
I'd come in and be like, "I'm gonna beat you." Woo!
Speaking of which,
Hey, brother!
What's going on? Thunder has joined the number 3 ranked in the Iron Gold Championship. How are you? Welcome to the broadcast booth. How are you enjoying the show?
You know, it's kind of stale, not gonna lie. A lot of lit 2s hitting metal slimes here. What's that all about?
I mean, when you don't got fire, you go with lightning. That's all you got.
And he found a gold in that chest. Zen0bian found 24 gold as lit 2 hit for 24 damage. Love it.
This is one of the rare cases where somebody's actually going to get beat up by metal slimes just by physically attacking.
I'm a fan of this Warmech just wrecking havoc every time you run into him, though.
So what do you think of this Zen0bian Silver Dagger strats?
Well, I think if Henry Canuck was here, he'd be scoffing right now. Because only black mages go with Silver Dagger strats.
I mean, a Flame Shield 5 with Chain Armor, or Silver Armor 5, I mean, wow, there's a lot of good high-rolling stuff here. I mean, I know it's not great armor, but... I mean, I have never seen so many Warmechs. And so, Thunder, have you found a way to get into the interview booth and challenge whoever wins right away?
And right now, am I seeing Caleb and Biz stack himself up so he can melee down these metal slimes?
That is what you're seeing, because that's what I'm seeing.
Oh my god.
Alright, folks. An hour later, Caleb might be done defeating the slimes with an iron hammer.
With a 1% crit weapon. Oh my lord.
I don't think you need to downplay any further the strats of Team Caleb right now, because I spent 2.5 minutes smacking down a sentry who was unrunnable in the race the other night. That got me the belt. So you know what? If he takes 2.5 minutes to kill down this fight 3 HP at a time, more power.
You know, I lost to that sentry actually. I remember it distinctly. I was pretty upset.
That darn sentry. We got some Tyro meat for Zen0bian. Nice bit of experience there. I guess it's a good time here while we got a little more time, actually. Both Ale and Thunder, you guys will be participating in the spring tournament that's coming up. I believe you guys have signed up. Is that correct?
Yep.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, well, Thunder is going to be taking part in that as he kind of ravages Zen0bian's party there. The spring tournament is coming up. We are having sign-ups until March 15th or 17th, I believe. So
15 sounds right.
So come on by, sign up, have some fun. You get to hang out with the likes of myself, because I'm much cooler than Thunder and Ale Markin.
Absolutely.
No, but
You're the only one. You're the only one here who Ric Flair decided to, memorialize with his, intro with a woo.
That's right. That's right, everybody. No, but seriously though, you guys should join though. It'll be a lot of fun. Even if you don't join, we have the spectator tag in our Discord. You'll be able to keep up with all the happenings of the spring tournament. Keep up with all your favorite runners, the Crab Cakes, the Spells app. He is in chat, or was in chat. He's taking notes. He's making sure to be wary of the Zen0bian and the Ray Fates Caleb's.
I think he's taking notes of the fact I'm not a fan of bingo, and he's already crafting his flags for his rematch.
Oh, for his rematch? That's right. You heard it here, Spells App. He's already calling you out. He's going to crush you tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Speed Gaming
Iron
family
Hammer crit.
of... Oh, really? How much was it? Like 5?
64. That was totally worth saving those levels.
It really was.
I'm pretty sure this is like an entrance right here.
I hope he gets out. We did it!
Hooray!
Alright.
At least he escaped with this particular katana +3.
Yeah, he actually went away with the katana. Although he's not going to use it though, but he's got to sell stuff. How much money does he have? Oh no, he's got enough to buy 100,000 worth of items in a shop.
If I remember right, gold bracelets were in Canary. Slap some of those puppies in your inventory.
Yeah, right. I like the other one where you have to sell 60,000, and it gets a little tricky because
that was actually a little challenging.
yeah, because everything's half price that it actually sells for.
But you can reset afterwards, right, and get it all back.
No. You think we're gonna make it easy on you? Ha!
What if, when you hired someone from the tavern, you actually had to pay them that much gold per battle?
Everybody just hires a thief and dangs them off. I don't gotta pay somebody taking a dirt nap.
Sleeping on the job.
Alright, so for anybody out there that does not know what's going on, this is Double Anti-Bingo. I'm kind of review it real quick. They have one row or column or diagonal that is forced by their opposition. For Zeno, he has to do column 2. He's almost there. He just has to cake Lich. Caleb, row 4, also has to cake Lich, and he just spent 100,000 in one shop, so he just has to cake the dead. For both runners, that is what's forced. And then they have to get one more bingo. It doesn't matter which row, column, or anything. They just got to get one. They have to have 2 total bingos before defeating Chaos.
So Cake the Dead is specifically Lich, or just any undead?
It's Lich.
Okay.
I mean,
I think that's Caleb's clear go right now. I think he's really just fishing for that key.
yeah, and we bring up. We got damaged sorcerers. Looks like we got good turn order for Caleb. Doesn't. I mean, he's got a decent amount of levels, but it still hurts. We don't have very many ribbons. Yeah, that's one thing though for anybody out there. Just because this is Chaos Rush, this is Long Topher. They have to have the key. For whatever reason, the devs in this game, or the original devs in this game, made a locked room. Once you go down the staircase, that's actually locked. You're actually in this like small little room, and it's locked.
I love it.
Yes, caking Lich is caking the dead. Only because I believe that is the only dead character that you can actually cake reliably. Oh, except for Zombies, but I don't believe Zombies are considered or what it's supposed to be.
What about mummies?
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, mummies.
I'm surprised more undead don't care for cake.
Actually, I think all undead care for cake except for zombies. I think they're like weird exception to not being susceptible to cake.
Sounds alright. I'm going to trust your judgment on that because you're far more ingrained with the inner workings of the game than I.
I mean, it's one of those weird things where like it'll say like a mad or certain sea creatures or creatures with wings. It doesn't actually show that they're resistant to the earth spell, but it never hits.
Mm-hmm.
More war
2
metals.
light +2 axes in that ordeals chest right there.
Those are actually pretty good weapons. That's a nice upgrade for Caleb instead of swinging that iron hammer, but unless he's swinging something else.
I don't know why he's not taking them.
That should make it harm 1, right?
That's right. So, I mean, that was pretty big pickup there for Caleb. 2 light axes, +1, as you said, so they get like a +2 damage modifier. An extra...
I don't think he took the light axes with him. I think he left them in the boxes. I'm not sure what his plan is there. I'd be interested to ask him why he didn't want to take that axe with him, since it's an upgrade over the iron hammer. But I mean, hey, maybe that's his thing. Maybe he just wants to be
Well, you know what?
Iron Hammer strats.
The Iron Hammer is +3, right? So it actually would have more crit than the Light Axe.
Would it though?
Axes have a 3% crit base, and then that was a minus Light Axe, so it actually would be down to 1%.
No, I thought the light axe wasn't it +1?
I thought it was -2 or something.
No. But that's interesting, though. Yeah, I mean, axes. If you got to go that way, that's interesting. That because their crit rate is so low. For anybody, or might as well remind everybody, the voice you're hearing right now, I am Dang Woo. I did it horribly. I couldn't do it right. Ale Markin, the #1 ranked, the champion, the title belt holder, is also doing commentary, and we have the #3 ranked Thunderclaw that kind of joined in here, barged in, probably trying to challenge Ale Markin ahead of Spell Zap.
Running down the ramp, arms waving over his head. Wait!
He is definitely trying to get the match in before Spell Zap.
Now, let's talk about something a little bit interesting and to note. Cake is level 7. Means you don't have a lot of charges to work with, unless you level pretty high.
I think they're either banking on that Warmech Unleashed, giving them the levels for at least 1 or 2 charges, or they're banking on one of the spike types.
Poor Gregory Puff here. Upset about all the Twitch math. Well, you know, when you got the plus-minus thing and we don't even know what it... I mean, we do know, but, you know, it's not ingrained in our heads exactly what the numbers are.
Look, I don't do numbers. I'm gonna let Mr. Wu handle that.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to entertain, you know, math, make you bored, entertain you some more. I just want these runners to find the key. I mean, we got Adamant turn-in, we found the bottle, that led to something.
I think it was Chime.
That's right, Chime.
See, we've seen Waterfall, we've seen Ordeal.
The runners do have a canoe also. They have access to everything.
Oh, there's Provoka.
Hey, we can finally look at level 2 magic. An hour
Nice.
and 10 in.
Ooh, and the Valuable Thief.
Zap, Fire 3, Quad X. Wow, that's actually not bad level 2 magic. Fire 3, you know Caleb is kicking himself right now after doing those metal slimes for like an hour. Ruse, that's a nice level 2 spell. That's easily accessible too for those knights once they get promotion, if he decides to promote them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that'll be a priority since he has that defense sword. So I'd probably grab it on the red mage, and then I don't know if I'd ever worry about coming back here for a promotion if I'm not really looking for it.
Remember, technically he's not allowed to use that defense sword though, unless he's not going with that bingo square.
Well, he did earlier for the metal slimes.
Oh, he did.
I think some verbiage needs to get cleared up on this bingo card.
I tell you, this guy right here.
So Caleb's Chime led to the TNT. Zen0bian, I can't recall where it was. I think it was the robot in Waterfall, but it gave him the Atom. So we've seen half of the Dwarf Cave puzzle. I'm curious to see which one actually leads to progression, or if one or the other leads to the key.
He just bought the crystal from the Provoca item shop. So I bet he'll run over the Matoyas real quick and turn that in.
It's a smart play because I don't think he's seen the Adamant yet. So he's thinking maybe I'll go and try this real quick before I go back. No, it looks like he's heading back down to do the TNT tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Since TNT, the Dwarf Cave is about 5 or 6 floors down in Ordeals.
Yeah, that's way faster than the first step entrance to Matoyas, right?
Basically.
Not going Quad X on Asaria. Interesting.
So Ordeals, I don't remember Ordeals having too much. That gives the bottle... Wait, that's the bottle, right?
Sounds right.
Sounds about right. We're gonna go with that. Gotta get to the man cats here. So Zen0bians, you know, they're kind of switching places here essentially.
Yeah, I think the worst thing that Zen0bian could possibly see in ordeals here would be the sorcerers, and especially if they get turn order and they decide to use their damage poison. Because I'm not sure if I've seen his armor screen recently, but I don't recall him picking up any rip.
Yeah, it looks like Caleb's making his way down from the rod room to the cube room.
Oh, it is a +2 at Light X. Never mind.
That's a nice pickup for Zen0bian since he actually takes him with him. Because he's
That
still
would
running.
actually-
Well, he was
that
running
should-
the 2 fighters.
That should be a crit upgrade to Iron Hammer then, if it's +2. Is it 2% crit per plus? I can't remember that one.
Should be 1.
Oh, then maybe not then. Are the Iron Hammers 3 or what?
I don't remember what the Iron Hammer is because I'm still impressed that he's still using the Iron Hammer.
He might be planning to finish this thing out with that.
So the weapon bonuses give 2 damage per bonus, 3 hit per bonus, and 1 crit per bonus. So that light 2 axe is going to give 4 more damage, 6 more hit, and 2 more.
You said 3 hit and 1 crit?
Yes, 2 damage, 3 hit, and 1 crit.
Okay. So yeah, our runners are required to do mental math. A little bit of oh, he's trying to take away the hooray door. Oh, Crab Cakes is going to be upset with you, Caleb. How
Oh,
dare
no.
you?
That poor dwarf was running for his life.
It really was. It dodged him a couple times. Almost got away.
Got a little herb.
Yeah, the adamant led to the herb, and TNT leads to the tail.
It's not just any dwarf, that's dwarvish herb. That's good stuff.
What do you think? Well, never mind.
So it looks
That's why they're often lazy.
like we still have the herb turn, which the herb we just picked up. Caleb still has the crystal turn in to do. Masa is incentivized, but both of our runners are trying to do the no swords.
Really hoping to see a key from this crystal.
Key would put them in. They're able to dive Temple of Fiends. They got to get it. Oh no! I mean, they got to get their bingos first, but I mean technically, Zen0bian cakes the Lich too, and he's in go mode. And then for I'm sorry, that's Caleb. I'm sorry, and Zen0bian's very close too.
Yeah, I mean, Zen0bian can easily walk into his shop, drop 100 grand, and be in the same spot Caleb is. So
I mean, using the sword's not a huge deal. Well, actually, it kind of is. Gonna need clarification on that there, because I think Caleb's getting himself in trouble here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Zen0bian thinks.
Well, he's finally taken a war mech fight, so I'm thinking Caleb might be looking at Road 2. So I think he might be aiming to hit level 40, and then also visit everybody on the Lich 1 floor. Because I think we've seen Lich 1 already.
That would make sense, because then, well, yeah, we get to kick the dead on Lich also.
I mean, that's interesting. I mean, you might as well if you want to change it up.
Putting some dents in that can with that Iron Hammer.
Mm-hmm. And if this particular fight works out in Caleb's favor, it's going to be a huge boost of XP for his fighter and his red mage.
Looks like looping around the spell list already.
And there it is, folks. When you get paralyzed touch, you don't dodge. You take a little bit increased damage. See you later, max evade fighter.
Yeah, that shot for 615 is gonna hurt.
It's okay. In egg, we trust. Zap comes out. That's ineffective. Fire 3. We know Warmack doesn't have a whole lot of health. Maybe, what, 600? 600 at the most?
I'd say he's probably got at least 200 more damage to do then.
Alright, well, Lit 2, we're going to slowly work on him.
We've only got a couple more spell charges before we hit hold A and pray strats, so...
Then we're going punching against a regenerative enemy. What does that mean? Well, every time you complete a turn, he's going to gain 1 to 2 HP. So if you can't do more than that, Warmack is going to just heal up on you. We did fix that.
And eventually you might crit with your punches, and that could outweigh the damage.
Oh, look at all of those things he's got. Alright, here we go. Punching. Oh, it's a fist. 2 damage. We're breaking even.
He's sustaining right now.
I'd like to hear Caleb's thoughts on this.
I mean, unless it wasn't fixed, but as much as I know of, regeneration is on Warmack, and it was fixed with our devs, so I don't think he can actually beat Warmack. We got the key.
Even if he hits a crit, it's not gonna do.
Ooh! Warmack with nuclear.
Crystal leads to the key, and that puts Zen0bian basically in go mode. Well, at least in the game. Still needs to get his 2 bingos though.
Yeah, as soon as he picked up that key, you can see him looking at that bingo board and looking, okay, what have I got to do to win this?
Wipes out. Caleb tries to take on the Warmack chick, or the robot chick in Warmack, and gets, well, rolled. Unfortunately, though, he put up a valiant effort. Ran out of spell charges. There's the crown for Zen0bian. For the question in chat, can you quad X Warmack? No, he's got resistance to death. Unless you land an X-Fer, you cannot quad X him. So it'll be interesting here for Zen0bian. I don't think you need much more. I got to remember, they don't have Masa. They don't have a very good sword because they are essentially not using swords. Though I say that, but I think they actually mean with they're not allowed to equip swords. They're allowed to use the sword's ability. They're just not allowed to equip them.
And that's an interesting predicament they find themselves in, because I think the best sword they've even seen up to this point is going to be a Sun Sword +2. But we haven't seen the Power Bonk, we haven't seen... And that is not a good combination, even if, you know, you do have scaling as kind of favorable as they do for this seed. I think we have it at, what, 150%?
Yeah, it's 150%. And they're not allowed to use Temper unless they're giving up one of their bingo squares. So they need that Power Bonk if they're going to have any chance against anything that rolls, you know, a little bit more absorb. Like, Chaos is not going to be the easiest thing.
Yeah, a high absorbed Chaos if he rolls 150% HP. It'll take you a good while to chip through that 3000 HP with the Sun Sword without any kind of temper.
Yeah, Chaos is going to have 1500 to 3000, right? Yeah. Or... yeah, that sounds about right. Or... wow, I can't even speak. 1500 to 2500, right? Yeah, because it's plus or minus.
Let's do the horrific Twitch match. Or Twitch match.
I don't know. Let's not do that because I feel really bad for even attempting that at this moment.
We don't do math on Saturdays, kids. Take notes.
I mean, it's interesting, though. We find the bridge, an hour 22 minute. We can finally cross. To provoke a by land. Yes.
That would have been a fantastic pickup had one of the bingo squares been beat the bridge boss.
It really would, as Caleb finally demolishes the metal slimes here with a Fire 3 spell that does very well compared to Lightning 2 that he tried to use earlier. Granted,
That
though,
sure beats Iron Hammer strats.
Granted, though, he didn't have fire spells before then, but we can. Oh, Gurmedusas. Those are yummy experience there, and they're usually not as deadly as a war mech, though I say usually. We will always.
What do you think about pulling Zen0bian in, getting his thoughts on what his endgame plan is? Because he's technically our first runner in Go mode with that key.
I would, but he didn't actually give me permissions to pull him in, so.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Caleb was the only one. I don't think he actually has an
guys.
issue with it, but I never actually asked him.
Caleb just equipped an Ice 2 sword.
Ooh.
He unchecked it. He unchecked the use of the swords. Oh, okay. So, use means equip, so.
So what does that leave his bingo looking like?
So, Zeno gave him a clarification on that. Said that using means equip. So, that is the reason why he had to click it. Click it off, and now he's going to change up what he needs to do. Doesn't change
so
much.
Caleb is doing row 4, is that correct?
Yes, he has to do row 4, so he still has to cake Lich, but now he's probably going to try and see Brack or Bane, which is easier in the pools of the Fiends, the second version, since Bane is in the pool. That will allow him to be in Go mode if he does it that way.
But as you said before, hitting level 40
He doesn't have to hit level
would not
40.
be a hard task.
It's that diagonal.
True. Right, he would just have to go back for that war mech, and he'd probably have an easier time of the war mech kill with the ice sword than he would with that iron hammer.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Do the row 2 for him?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, so
yeah.
Caleb can either go row 2 and row 4, or he could do that downright diagonal in row 4.
I mean, that's what I would think, because I think Bane, I think you can get through the spells pretty quickly, but I guess that'd be kind of dangerous if you run into, like, double nuclear.
And plus, it's one of those things where, you know, maybe the fiend who rolled Bane or Brack has a very low spell chance. You might be sitting there for a number of minutes waiting for them to use spells, and if it lands in, like, spell slot 8, you're going to be there for a hot minute trying to wait and just fish for that one, and you don't know what fiend it's going to land on.
No.
So that can turn into a very long Topher dive if you're sitting there fishing for a spell that may not ever pop up.
No, you're absolutely right, and that's one thing that, you know, I mean, both of our runners are in Go mode now. Well, I say Go mode, I meant they are able to go into Temple of Fiends Revisited and complete the game. We just have to get bingo mode, or bingo mode, as somebody used to say that. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting what they go for now, because essentially that's exactly what they're doing. They're looking at their bingo boards, and they're going, okay, what can we do? Bane the Dragon. Well, we've already defeated, I believe, Dragon was already defeated by Zen0bian. So, can't really Bane the Dragon. Caleb might be able to go for that. Go for row 1. Find the Masa, toss it out the window.
Zen0bian found the power gauntlet.
Ooh, very nice pickup in that elf armory.
That is a very... I mean, like, as we were pointing out earlier, we can't use Temper if they're going... I mean, well, for sure Zen0bian cannot. Column 2 is what he has to go down. So he can't use Temper.
Finds his first ribbon as well.
Yeah, that's the ribbon Caleb found a while ago. We're in Lefane here. We're going to find out what the slab translation leads to. Is this Masa? No, it's Oxiel. Interesting. Okay. I was gonna say if it's Masa that helps out Caleb because he's using swords now. That definitely makes it a lot easier. He's also not restricted to not using temper, so he can use it if he wants, depending on what row and column he goes through. I mean, he could easily do row 1 if he finds Masa quickly. And if he hasn't baned a team at 1, that's very possible. Oh, Marsh Split. These are always fun in the random entrance and floor shuffle. Split leads to another split is always fun. Looks like both of our runners are in the same place. I think both of them have Oxiel.
A wood -3 hat and a wood -3 stick.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was Melman. For some reason, I thought they were in the same. Oh, there's Lich.
Oh, buddy.
All right.
He's gonna visit every room.
Nope, he's running right to it. So
Wait,
I don't think he's going for row
gonna
2.
kick the bed.
Does he have, oh wait, he's got black mages. Are they high enough level to cast Cake? Oh, he's got 8 charges.
This gets him a bingo. If he hits it.
You gotta believe in it, Caleb, if it's gonna work. There it is. He has caked the dead.
Now the question is, what's his next bingo gonna be?
I mean, yeah, he's
Could've
got.
been the swords.
So he's the first one to bingo. He's got a lot of options that has been pointed out. What's the easiest stuff?
Honestly,
his
did he find
Rat
mermaids already?
Bane is easy, but
If he found mermaids, column 1 is not hard to finish up, I would say.
that's a good observation. You can
Yeah?
get revenge on the War Mech because they're everywhere.
Oh, it looks
You
like.
can pop down.
Oh, he's going for the Bane Brack. He's hoping to find Bane Brack during his dive down. This is a gamble, unless he's just grinding, but I think he's going for it. So, for
Yeah.
all you out there, Caleb
He's gonna
is going to fish for as many abilities or spells that he can out of the Fiends, Lich 2, Carry, Kraken, Tiamat, and Chaos while diving down. And if he finds Brack or Bane, he's in go mode.
And good news is he's seen the spell-less loop on Warmech, which shares this pool, and hasn't seen Bane there, so he knows it's in here.
And that's something you don't want to see.
Speaking of,
Speaking of,
that was actually pretty funny. That was perfect timing there. It's like Thunder summoned him or something.
who do you guys think's gonna have Bane? I'm gonna call Kraken 2.
I'm gonna say Lich.
I mean, if I am Caleb, I'm hoping Lich has it. Just because Lich is obviously the easier one to kill. If it's Kraken, I'm terrified because that means I'm gonna have to sit there. I'm gonna have to sit there and get attacked nonstop by a heavy attacking character, and the threat of a nuclear being casted. It's awful.
I don't think he's gonna have a hard time fishing any of the fiends with Red having Ruse, the defense sword, and Red having Cure 4. I think he's gonna be able to survive enough turns of most fiends, or all fiends, to see their spell list go, as long as the fiend casts it. Now there could be the sad situation that he gets a fiend that never casts a spell but has the Bane in the spell list.
Oh, like a really low chance. I believe it gets down to like 32 out of 128 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be rough. And it's buried as its 8th spell.
Well, I think even the one that gets the quote-unquote carry 2 script that just swings, I think it still can load spells in there still, though. I could be wrong on that.
No, as much as I know of, I don't believe so, but as you said, I could be wrong myself.
I think my bigger concern is going to be, what is your plan? Like, say you're going down and you find Bane or Brack on Tia 2. Because he's spending a lot of resources down in a lot of these unrunnable White Dragon fights, or Frost Dragon fights. And if you're not using Temper, like that's one of your requirements, it might be a long haul on Chaos, or you might just be praying. Maybe he's got, maybe he only is going to punch you.
That's very important too. Now that you kind of mentioned that is, if he didn't pick up the Temper because he originally wasn't going to. Oh wait, no,
And I don't think
he can't use Temper.
Elf Armory.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so he can't use Temper, and he didn't check Elf Armory.
He's not
So
fishing
he
Lich
doesn't-
here. He's going for cake.
Does Caleb know he's got to get 2 bingos?
He's got to know. I think. Yeah, there he goes. He's waiting.
Ooh, we might see a double Lich cake right here.
Yes, we did. Back to back
Look at
cake
that.
has
Very nice.
back to back cake has been fed to
Double layered
Lich.
cake.
A double layered cake. That's right, Thunder. I like the way you said that. I mean, what's he planning here? I mean, I'm trying to figure out. Hey, he can't use Temper. He's got no other
bring him up?
spots.
We bring him and ask if he's aware of
Yeah.
the 2 bingos.
I mean, he's got Temper there. He can't use it. So what's he trying to do? He's trying to
Well, yeah,
cast
if he-
cake.
If he knows he can't use Temper, then he has to know that he's got to look for Brack or Bane.
I mean, so that puts Zen0bian in, just about go mode here. He's got to spend the 100,000 in one shop. I mean, I guess technically he's seen Brack and Bane since he's casting Brack, right? There's Bane. Look at this guy.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, big
He
brain
gets
strats.
the
from Caleb.
lucky find of Bane.
Big
after
brain plays.
smoking Lich.
One thing Caleb does is big brain plays, and there it is. Cake's Lich 2, second turn. He's going to reset out. I think he's going to get himself actually situated to move on. He's found it. Oh, I like it. Zen0bian spending the money.
So I like what Caleb's doing here, though, because this gives him another option. If he really wants to go just crazy right now, he could take that hit level 40 on one character square and then make use of Temper.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that's...
that would make really easy work to
Ooh,
show.
the disrespect on the triple bingo.
Well, no, because he would use the Temper. He would lose the diagonal.
Right.
But then he picks up column 3.
I get what you were saying, but still a little bit of a spicy little disrespect to say, oh, I got 2 bingos. Let me get this third one, and then I'll take one of my other ones away.
I mean, if he channel... interesting he's not using the defense sword, because that's a +4 defense sword, and he's using an ice sword -2.
Well, he would have to class change. Does
Oh,
he know
that's
where
right.
Bahamut is?
I forgot about the
I
defense
don't-
sword. See, this is
I don't know
why
if
I'm
you
commentary.
even Bahamut cell, but
This is why I am unranked, and you guys are ranked. I overlooked the defense sword requires a promotion. How dare I do that?
Going somewhere, though.
I'm not sure what he'd be looking for. Oh, he's looking
Oh,
for a tile.
I
I
know.
think he is hitting level 40.
Oh, he's getting a mass? Or did he do this already?
I
He
think...
warp tricks and finds a massa here.
Ship!
The ship.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think he's looking for a massa. Or was.
Oh, Zen0bian's making the dive. He's in go mode.
Ooh. Yes, I see Zen0bian has a double bingo right now as well.
And Zen0bian's in a good spot because he did pick up that power bomb in the Elfland Armory.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he might not be technically using Temper, but he kind of is. Just not casting it. But
That's
it's still
Saber.
counts. Oh, that's right. You are correct.
Yeah, Saber is a much better spell, or well, much better. It gives you damage and hit accuracy. So Caleb's out exploring, finds the wonderful Cardia empty. Caleb traveling around the world. I'm gonna find out where he's going. Oh, I don't think he's been here. Could be wrong.
It's hard enough keeping up with the Florentine shuffle as a runner. It's even harder keeping up with one as commentary, especially when you're trying to track two people and tell them, tell our viewers where everybody hasn't been.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult. I've been slacking on all my button pressings here. Ooh, the Gas Dragon Spike tile, Zen0bian's grinding. That is the Phantom tile. Alright. I completely missed it when Caleb did it, so I mean... Oh, we found mermaids.
Oh. You hit 5 of them?
Oh, he just resets out.
Nope. Doesn't even bother checking for loose mass on all boxes.
I'm not sure what his thought process there was with mermaids.
I'm not sure either, but I have to admit, having ship in the incentive pool and it being an ice cave, it's kind of unfortunate.
It really was.
I think we still have to talk to the kindly old king. I don't think we've talked to him yet. We have no loose.
Thought process was.
Yeah, we have no loose, so there's something out there that we're missing. And it looks like Caleb is really hunting for that Masa. He wants it badly.
Is Zen0bian gonna hit 40? And what advantage bingo wise would that be? No, he hits 32. Okay.
Oh,
wait, but Zen0bian's leaving too.
This is tavern mode, so he can go and get a black belt.
Forgot it was tavern mode. Now it makes sense.
So that's
I'm surprised
interesting.
Zen0bian picks up 2 of these, to be honest. He tends to do that.
I really liked when he did that play the other night during the Iron Golf free-for-all. He ran that 2 black belt strat, and it really helped him out. It paid off a lot.
And he does go for 2.
And I mean, that goes with, you don't have to use swords by using the black belt. The black belt uses its fists and not swords, so that, makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, and having 2 black belts at 32 is going to help minimize how much he really cares for using that defense sword in combat too. Since I think his goal is just to punch people down before they can hit him first.
And he's gonna be able to hit fast on both of them round 1. Oh no, he's got a white mage, so no.
I like that play from Zen0bian. I think he's in good shape between the power gauntlet, the fast, and the 2 black belts.
I think it's a good play. When you have the defense sword, it's pretty good. Personally, I think it'd be good to put the defense sword on the slot 2 black belt and have him as your backup, beef him up, fast him in round 2, have him defense up 2 times, just in case Kraken 2 is real bad.
True, but didn't we say that using it in combat invalidated that square?
I don't remember what the consensus was.
Yes, it has been confirmed. Zen0bian did mention it in the bingo chat, saying that if you use it, it is considered as equipping. That is the reason why Caleb had to withdraw his mark of the no use of swords.
Aha.
So yeah, so we probably won't be seeing that defense sword then from Zen0bian.
Yeah, unfortunately not, and he doesn't have very much other or anything else that he can really go towards to, you know, offshoot if he really needs the defense sword.
Yeah, the easiest one I see him getting, if he has to go defense sword, would be to take that second, or change his white mage into a black mage, and then go fishing for Brack or Bane. And we've seen it, you know, Bane came up pretty early in Carry 2's list, so that might be kind of a back pocket play if he needs it.
Ooh, Warmech, I think, forced Zen0bian to reset out, or it was the unrunnable Frost Dragons that got him again. So Zen0bian not able to make much progress driving down.
Zen0bian's struggling with floor 1 of Topher.
Oh,
Yeah, that's an
Ooh, that was
unfortunate
a-
string of encounters.
Masamune 4.
Oh, wow.
Heyo.
A mass of 4.
Now let's see if Caleb proceeds to run into Space 3F and throw it out the window.
Wow, Masa plus 4, so that's 8 additional damage, 4 additional crit percentage, and what is that? 12 additional
12 more
hit? Yeah, 12 more hit. Hey,
Jeez.
I'm pretty sure at this point Caleb is just going to beeline heading towards our volcano location, which has Temple of Fiends, and I think he's just going to make a play of it. Sweet, we're going to have an interesting Temple of Fiends here.
it's going to be because Caleb has the ability to solo a lot better than Zen0bian. If things go south and only a black belt survives, he's more than likely going to have to reset out, because without any sort of evasion stacks you can use, you're in trouble. Unless he picked up that white shirt, but I think Caleb was the only one who found it and actually kept it.
Now, did you say the bosses go to 150% on this?
Yes.
So that makes 32 black belt feel a lot better, I feel. Even 150% boss isn't going to withstand a 32 black belt more than probably 2 or 3 turns.
Yeah.
The only thing going for Caleb's favor right now is, even though he didn't pick up that power bonk, he at least has that +4 Masa, so that'll help a little.
Yeah, we got quite the race here. Zen0bian's on the earth floor here, about to take on Lich 2. Caleb finds the Masa +4 that we were just talking about and is trying to catch up. Now, it's going to be very interesting here. How much damage do these 32 black belts do? And 300 first hit, 400 next shot. Lich 2 is not down yet. That's a beefy Lich 2. Casting Lit 2, though, just wasting time for Zen0bian. This is why you cast Cake, I'm just saying. Alright, Lich 2's
So-
down.
That Lich 2 coupled with the 7 to 8 resets that Zen0bian took trying to get into Topher has let Caleb really get some ground back on his feet here.
Yeah, that was a
I
nice...
agree.
That was a nice run from Caleb here. Made his way from that sky, or the Temple of Fiends floor that can be really annoying with those Frost Dragons. Made it through basically with no encounters. Now it's on the Earth floor.
And he's getting ready to pull up on Lich while Zen0bian is still
Ooh.
healing from the Lich 2 fight.
Yeah, this is turn order seems to be favoring Caleb.
Oh, he got initiative. He got initiative on
Oh my gosh.
Lich.
He's going for damage strats.
I like it. We know Lich has about 700 HP. Masa +4 swing. Showing up the black belts there. Let's go. Oh, wow. He actually waits on his 2 black belts, or black mages. Interesting call. Carry 2's been pulled on the right-hand side. Masa swing for 912. Blaze comes out. Ooh. Ravaging some of those casters.
We know
But-
Carry 2's got over 800 HP at
Caleb-
this point.
Caleb is running hot right now. He is not slowing down.
No, he's not. Zen0bian's feeling the pressure there. Basically 2 turns carry. Moves
Oh
ahead.
no, and this encounter that Zen0bian sees, this one hurts. Gets away though.
Yeah, that is a full party or a full enemy formation that wastes time. Caleb's not healing. He
No,
says Caleb's going in.
Caleb is on fire right now.
709 Masa swing, not
Now,
fasted.
Doesn't do it?
Wow, what a
Carry
big
2 had
shot.
around 1,000, so one more round will do it.
Oh,
Wait,
and the warm
wait,
oh,
wait. Bane comes out from carry, kills the one black mage. That's okay. I believe we have life cast. Kraken, Zen0bian doesn't heal.
Oh, these guys are spicy.
God, two cheeky guys going at it.
They are going all in here, folks. Kraken, 420 on the first shot, lit 2. We would rather have that.
Oh.
All right, turn 2 for Zen0bian. Warmax showing up on Caleb's side. Doesn't look like they have life, so I apologize. Caleb is 1 black mage short. 13 hits, 700 damage. Zen0bian's through the first gatekeeper.
Stops to heal.
All right, so this interesting. He's
Doesn't
gonna
revive.
I don't think he has life. Yeah, I don't see a life, but he's actually gonna pop
You're right.
a defense sword.
If he bracks the Kraken.
Lit 2. Okay, so both times Kraken 2 does the lit 2, gives our runners a free turn. Masa swing fasted, almost 800 damage, does not take out the Kraken. Another lit 2. Wow, free turns from Kraken, not the gatekeeper today. Waits.
I mean, up to this point, the Fiends have really been going in Zen0bian's favor.
Ooh, isn't damage that time.
See, I have to admit, if I am Caleb in that run, I cast Quad X instead of waiting. You already did about 800 damage. Cast a cake. A fasted black belt. 8 hits for 351. 16 hits for 358. That's actually a very tanky Tiamat, but 2 black belts at level 32 plus. Not an Team Edward fan club.
Oh, no,
Watch
they
out,
both get
Zen0bian.
ambushed. They
Oh.
both get ambushed by the Team Edward fan club.
Oh, and this is a lot more dangerous for Caleb because he doesn't have a life caster.
Oh. No!
No! Oh.
Oh, these have poison damage. This is also kind of scary.
The reset out for Caleb. Zen0bian makes it through to the chaos floor. Wow. The Team Edward fan club.
And the victory lap from Zen0bian.
It's all in good fun. They are in the same chat. That is probably why they were pushing Temple of Fiends Revisited. What a great match from these two. They pushed it to the max on that one. But it's not over yet. Zen0bian still has to defeat the Ultimate Fiend Chaos.
It would take a couple nukes in the pocket for these black belts to not finish the job, I imagine.
Very true, but never say never because, you know, a zap somehow 3 and 250 60s could end. 6 hits, 41 damage. Oh, this is a tanky chaos. He cannot cast Temper.
That's where you got to remember which black belt you put that power bonk on.
12 hits,
And then often praying you remember to put it on the
390.
black.
That's right. They do have that. Zen0bian does have a power bonk. 5 hits, 178. Ooh, 217. So we're just close to 1,000. We're almost to the low percentage for chaos.
A high roll nuke could do a lot of damage right now. That's all I'm saying.
It definitely could. R2 hits for 406. We are at the lowest percentage of chaos. Mirror swings. GG to Zen0bian.
There it is.
Gee.
Keeps
GG
his
to the man.
4th rank from Caleb. The challenger Caleb gave him a fight. GG to both of our runners. Wow. That was a spicy flag set. Ooh, we just found crack over by the chimeras. That's not very
Doesn't
good.
crack any eggs though.
No eggs were cracked in this race. I'm gonna see if they want to get an interview, or if Zen0bian wants to come in for an interview. Caleb doing the not Caleb thing. He's actually not gonna forfeit. That's what I'm talking about, Caleb. I don't care what anybody says. Caleb is pretending. You know, he always forfeits, but that man is a dark horse. He can run fast if he wants to. All right, Lich 2 is going to be pulled by Caleb there. So, Thunder.
Danglu.
If Ale wins, you going to challenge him to some bingo?
Bingo? No, I have something in mind already.
Ooh.
Fantastic.
You want to give us some hints here? I mean, I can mute him if you want me to, or deafen him.
Yeah. Let's just say, don't let any characters die.
Oh my!
Sounds exciting.
So it's gonna be like it's gonna be like a worded agreement.
No.
Oh, spicy! I like it. So Spellzap, is that going to be for Spellzap and Ale, or is that specifically for Ale if Ale wins?
It'll probably be both ways. I think I
like
could run it both ways. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. All right, Caleb's going to try and take on Carrie here. Carrie was nice enough to give Caleb the Bane, which gave him bingo mode. That's right, folks. I'm word playing. Tries the quad X right away. I liked it. Unfortunately, we didn't get the Masa swing right off the bat. 10 hits for 1100. That Masa plus 4 is doing work.
Thing of beauty.
That is a thing of beauty. That really is, too. Wow.
So let me ask you this. Theoretically, Thunder challenges me after I beat Spellzap tomorrow night.
Okay.
And we run this "You Better Not Die" flag set.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you hit the toxic gargoyles in Earth Cave and you die? And I'm still running.
Hopefully you made less progress than I did, where all your characters died.
Oh, that's gonna be great. Save often, boys and girls. This is gonna get dangerous.
Yep.
I'm thinking some speculation or stipulations like who has the most go mode key items and orbs total if we both die. That's the winner. Or if we're tied on that, whoever's party has the highest level edited together.
Oh, interesting stipulations. That's interesting. Oh, you mean like add up all the character levels?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that one because there has been a couple weeklies that our async and challenge seed people have done that. So that
This is
is
starting to sound challenge seed-esque.
Sounds like something Spellzap should love.
Absolutely.
and on top of all of Ale, you don't even know what the flags are for tomorrow, do you?
Oh, I do. Like I said, I'm just playing it close to the chest because my understanding is it's going to be the challenge flags tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So you actually know what it is, so you could practice. Okay. I was gonna say, like, I was worried. I was like, wait, he's not giving you any time to practice? Man, this is next level challenge here.
No, I mean, like we talked about, the challenge got thrown down in literally post-race interview. And Spellzap and I've been talking back and forth. So basically Wednesday night, Wednesday morning, Tuesday night, time frame like right after the race, and he had some flags drafted almost immediately. So I think he had them in his pocket already.
I would assume
What about
so
my
too.
pocket?
Oh, and joining us in the broadcast booth, he had to take a shower and all that stuff after that intense close match. I have to ask, were you two aware of how close? Were you guys like talking in Discord how close you two were together?
We were talking, but Caleb didn't reveal that he wiped on the Tier 2 floor until I was about to win.
Yeah, you both actually.
I had no idea.
You
he was
both got ambushed by the Team Edward fan club, except for he wiped, and you managed to get through.
What happened to him? Because they just punched, but I kind of absorbed it.
Well, unfortunately for him, he lost 2 of his characters. So.
Oh yeah, he said he lost a couple characters to Bane. Should have learned that A-Rub spell. I heard it's pretty good.
Very true. I mean, it was. Yeah.
Caleb getting initiative on Chaos. What is this nonsense?
I mean, I picked these flags, and I literally didn't look at like half the things I picked. I didn't know that flag was on, and I drafted these. So,
I mean, it was
when I
great.
ambushed a boss, I was like, wait, I ambushed Wormek? What? Okay, sure. I beat Wormek.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny too because he's trying to catch up to you. You were in Temple of Fiends, like, because you were actually going to go and dive down to win. And he's, you know, he's a little bit behind. He gets this amazing run, and he's on Lich 2 as you're, you know, going to take on Carry 1. And he gets initiative on Lich 2, and I'm just like, wow, this is going in his favor. He's going to make an amazing catch-up. And that's exactly what you two were doing. It felt like you guys were talking to each other and like, yeah, I'm here too. Because, like, you guys weren't healing in between bosses, generally. You guys were waiting until the last minute to heal and stuff like that. It was actually pretty crazy.
In a lot of the dungeons, Caleb would say something, and I would say, oh, I'm doing that. Or I would say something, and Caleb would say, I'm doing that too. Like, why did you just see that skill? Get out of my dungeon. What are you doing here? Apparently, we were following along quite a bit. Except, I feel like I last locationed a whole lot of stuff.
Look, I'm just going to tell you right now, Zeno, never believe anything that Caleb says in chat.
Oh, I don't, and he totally believed that I bracked Wormek when I told him I bracked Wormek and clicked that square. He believed it for like a solid 20 minutes.
I told... Somebody's like, wait, you actually clicked that you defeat Wormek? I'm like, look, Zen0bian's already told me that he's going to troll Caleb. He's going to mess with him. And everybody had a good laugh over it. As Caleb there shows the Masa +4 does work. Defeats Chaos.
I was not allowed to use that. I was not allowed to use swords. I could not use the Masa or the Katana or anything good. I found the Sun too, couldn't use that. I was stuck with silver fucking daggers, so I decided to go with fists. How else was I gonna beat the game? GG, Caleb, you won with the Masa.
Yay!
You finished. I'm glad you finished. I'm honestly glad you finished because I would have been sad if you forfeited.
No, I wasn't gonna forfeit. If that vampire pack hadn't caught me right before Tia, we probably would have been neck and neck. Probably.
What did the vampire pack do to you? Like, they just meleeed me and they didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, I had 2 characters.
Right. I keep forgetting you only had 2 characters. That's the thing.
And I attempted to run the first turn, so then they just punched me, and then I was just dead. Because there's like 7 of them. So yeah, you know, and I don't think I healed, but like I wasn't down a whole lot of health, but just like the chip damage from Kraken's Lightning 2s. But it was enough to mess me up. But yeah, I think because you said that you ambushed Tia right as I got ambushed by those vampires.
Yeah, I ambushed Tia too. That was pretty fucking...
But that first dive down, the second dive, the first dive I went down hoping to find Bane and got lucky. But the second dive, like my real dive with Masa 4, I ambushed Lich and Carry. And Carrie's
that's nice.
Still baned.
Oh,
my Black Wizards or Black Mages.
Did I kill Carrie in 1 or 2 turns? Dingwu, do you remember?
I think you were 2 turns.
Which one?
Carrie? I know I didn't see the Bane. That's all I know. I just wanted to know if I did
Carrie,
it in 1 or 2 turns.
You 2 turned. Because he barely, because your black belts didn't hit hard enough. Because Carrie had like 1,000 HP and you just barely hit under him.
Black belts probably would have lived anyway, because they were both 32.
Did you bring 3 black belts?
No, I brought 2.
Ah, that's pretty good.
That's why I clicked off that square.
Yeah.
I didn't have 0 or 3 black belts. I had 2 black belts.
Yeah.
But GG, Zeno, I'm sure you're going to have nightmares over Caleb's trolling in Discord chat that I have had. Caleb, you did amazing tonight. GG to you, sir.
What are you talking about trolling? I don't troll people.
Listen,
I was telling Zeno the whole time we were voice chat, like, I'm honest with you. I'm not gonna feed you any misinformation, and I don't think I
don't believe him. I don't believe him ever.
I mean, totally honest. I was the disinformative one. I clicked that defeat Wormek square at like the 16-minute mark.
How many? I think I spent literally like 5 minutes trying to punch Wormek down, and then I think I spent 3 minutes smashing metal slimes with iron hammer. So I probably, considering I never even.
I will not claim any responsibility for. Wormek though. That could be
okay.
On me.
So,
but considering I never clicked those squares, that's like 8 minutes that I should have back.
Poor Caleb over here. So, Iron Hammer versus Metal Slimes.
I got one crit at the end there for like this is like 6 hits, 66 damage or something.
Like,
That was real nice.
the whole game, Iron Hammer was just letting me down. The whole game, Caleb was saying, "Oh, these hammers are doing great for me," and I'm just thinking, "Bullshit."
Yeah,
Terrible.
They were doing pretty good melee damage on stuff that wasn't metal slimes.
He wouldn't hit anything for me. Then again, the things I were trying to hit was Warmech.
Oh yeah, no, Warmech it was 3 hits. 3
Warmech,
damage.
and there was a lot of late game dungeons available right off the bat. So I was trying to get levels early, because that's my strat, unfortunately. It just didn't work. I couldn't get levels until like an hour in.